Co-parenting with a narcissistic individual doesn't work because they want to control everything. They will make up the rules as they go along, and even if you abide by their rules, they will change their rules on you at the drop of a hat so they can control you. They're not interested in co-parenting. They are incredibly toxic, negative people who are interested in counter-parenting and making life as difficult as they can for you, or because they can no longer control you. Try and be assertive to a narcissist, they're going to take offense to this. They're going to try and find ways to punish you. They lack the empathy to care for how it negatively impacts you or their own children, and they will just simply blame all that on you. Narcissistic people make rules up to suit themselves. Their counter-parenting refers to the narcissist's attempts to undermine your ability to co-parent, undermine your compassion, undermine your empathy for your children, undermine your parental abilities. They're looking to manipulate and to emotionally abuse so that they can remain in control of the situation. They will go all out with the alienation, and this often isn't where they stop the child from seeing you, although it can be. With their alienation, they usually go all out to undermine you to the children, to criticize, to mock, to demean you to the children, to get the children to look poorly of you. Yet they play games to set this up. So with a narcissistic person, they're not interested in routine for their children. So they will promise to pick their children up. They will fail to collect their children. And then when they see their children and their children are upset, they blame you. They accuse you of not allowing them access, even when it was nothing to do with you. And you can find yourself explaining yourself till you're blue in the face to the narcissistic parents or to the children, and this is a detrimental cost to the children, because then you're the one that's involving the children in adult communication, and it's a very difficult place to be. A narcissistic person will withhold information. They'll withhold doctor's appointments, birth certificates, passports, medical consent. And this isn't the healthy parent trying to protect the child. This is the narcissistic parent not wanting to let go of control. They will use coercion and threats to manipulate. They will threaten to withhold visitation. They will change custody days. They will find any nitty-gritty they can on you, and if you don't do this for them, they're not going to do that for you. They have those unrealistic expectations, those unreasonable demands of you, unreasonable demands of financial support, or they provide no financial support and find a way to play the victim in the scenario. They will constantly cancel dates and change times and turn up late to pick them up, turn up late to drop them off, ruin routines any way they can, and accuse you of being too regimented, because they're not interested in the welfare of their children. They're interested in getting one over on you. They will undermine your boundaries. They will have a complete disregard for any visitation schedules, because they don't believe those rules apply to them, but they do believe those rules apply to you. And then they will play the victim anytime they are called out. They will involve the child in adult conversations, and they will try and make it so that you feel like you have to involve the child in adult conversations also. They will sabotage you any way they can. They will spread false information about you, not only to those around you, but also to your own children. They will come at you with those unfounded accusations. Now, there's no single approach to neutralize a narcissistic person's counter-parenting. What you need to do is educate yourself on their behaviour so that you can recognise their games and no longer play into them, no longer play their games. Because remember, Their rules are their rules, and they adjust those rules to suit themselves. Recognize their patterns of behavior so you can see what's coming before it comes, and when it comes you can think, I knew that was going to come. Find the things that interest you. Find the things that are going to lift you up, because it's going to get in your emotions. That's why they are playing these games, to get at you, to hurt you, to punish you. It is going to hurt. So you've got to find the things to mentally bring you out of that pain and find the joy in life so that they don't win that game. Don't engage in the power struggles. Yes, you need to stand firm, and then you need to just leave it at that. If they keep coming at you and bombarding you with that communication, stop. You said what needs to be said. Leave them to it. Communicate your boundaries as though a judge is reading it. So never direct communication to the narcissistic person. They can twist it any way they can. Direct it as though someone in mediation or someone in a courtroom is going to be reading that information. So tell them why you're standing your ground, why it's a benefit for the children, and leave them to it. Do not insult them, don't demean them, don't criticize them. It's so easy to want to do this. Don't. Leave them to it. Let them mock and criticize and judge you. And find as much support as you can to help you through, because it is very difficult and challenging to get through their counter-parenting. You have to learn to parallel parent. You have to learn, as difficult as it is, to leave them to parent how they're parenting, even when you believe it's bringing the children harm, and parent how you parent when you have the children, and go through the right channels to protect your children. Because if you step in before you go through the right channels, you are most likely going to lose those children to the narcissist, who's going to hurt them and you all the more.